Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my final video. I'm really excited. These questions have me really excited and thinking and reflecting on my experience. So really excited to be doing this. I have a lot of stuff that I saved from a program, from Evensong to literally a receipt of the lunch that I had at the Louvre, and even some gum wrappers, some candy wrappers in here. So I have it all, saved it all in my suitcase that is still sitting here on the floor waiting for the clothes to be washed. I'm here in my apartment in San Marcos, and I do have music playing in the background. It just helps me focus a little bit more, and it's pretty quiet, so just to feel that, it's kind of weird for me. Anyway, let's just get right into it. I'm going to start with the questions. And the first question is, what is the difference between art and non-art? And in front of me on my computer, that's why I keep looking down, I have the literal definitions from Google. It says art is the expression or application of human creative skills and imagination, typically in a visual form such as paintings or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Now that's a lot, but it's right. Like, art is for the beauty, the emotions behind it, the thinking, all of that. The definition of non-art, something that is not art or that rejects the conventional forms or methods of art. So that's really a stupid definition. But what I like better is what I got from The Greater Good. So I have some notes here. The Greater Good says, art, the intention of art is to give people material to create their own thoughts and opinions. Whereas non-art, they're intending to produce certain emotions on you. So art to me is very thought-provoking. That's a really good word. If it makes you think, if it makes you, like they're saying, create your own opinion, your own feelings, then that's art. And it doesn't have to necessarily be, you know, this big painting that took you thousands of years to do and there's so many colors, because we even saw that one blue painting and all it was this canvas colored in blue. And that was still art. That was one of the biggest pieces in, where were we, the Tate? I think we were at the Tate Modern. And that's crazy. That's really crazy, that just that. But it's because you can see it as the sea. You can see it as the sky. You can see it as him reflecting his feelings. He's feeling blue. He's feeling sad. You can take it so many different ways, and you can make your own opinion. And some people are like, "That's stupid. I could do that in my sleep." And like, okay, but they still have an opinion on it, and it's still art. I said, to me, anything really can be art. I said it took 3 things: creativity, design, and purpose. Purpose meaning that it wants to convey a message, whether that be to literally paint a picture, to honor someone, such as the Mona Lisa, such as all of these portraits, or just really to inform them, to show them, this is what was going on, this is how I was feeling, this is, you know, just express, the artist is expressing themselves. So the next question, question number 2, is how is it like to see, how is seeing art in person instead of in a book different for you? In a book, it's really boring. It's really boring. If I were to take an art history class, I would be sitting there looking at the textbook, looking at this art and being like, oh, okay, you know, that's Gothic, that's whatever. And I would just know it by definition. One thing that really stood out to me was our first lecture when Davidson was telling us about the columns. He said that one time he said that. And throughout the whole entire 2 weeks, I would see columns and I would know, that's Doric, that's iconic. I would know exactly what it was by him saying it one time. And that really stuck with me, because seeing it in person, you really can see the details and you can really tell the difference, and it really sticks in my memory at least. One thing that I said was in the Mona Lisa, which was the biggest example to me, everybody asked me, is it as small as they say it is? Because you think of it as this giant painting that has so much historical relevance, and it's, you know, Da Vinci's last one, or Da Vinci this and Da Vinci that, and the Mona Lisa, you need to go see the Mona Lisa before you die. And I got there and it was really underwhelming. It was really hyped up that I had these big expectations, and I'd get there and it's legit this big. I mean, it's not that big, but like, and then the amount of people around it that I didn't even bother getting that close. I was more interested in everything else in the Louvre. Like, I just did it to say that I did it, to say that I was there. Another thing is one of my fellow classmates, Chris Brown, he had said, "It's a veil, not a wig." And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you see it in person. It's a veil, not a wig. Everybody's always wondered. And I saw it and I got up there. So the fact that in person you see details that look completely different in books is awesome. Another big thing to me is just the idea that you're staring at and you're looking at something that's been talked about for thousands of years, something that is so important to whatever history, something that was featured in Night at the Museum, like something that Da Vinci sat there himself and painted every single stroke. Monet sat there and looked at these water lilies. To me, that's the biggest part, is just seeing it and being like, wow, this is the original. This person who has so much impact on art in today's world and just history in general literally sat there and did this. The next question is, what do you think about people risking their lives for some of the art you witnessed? It makes me really think. It's like, wow, you know, this art may be something simple such as that blue painting or even that orange carpet. You know, they're simple things, or they're the most detailed things you've ever seen, but they were trying to convey a deeper message. If they're risking their lives for it, like, there was some movement going on, and there's like just more importance to this than just what you see on the surface. Like, you need to think more, and I really like that. That's why I really liked the more modern museums, because they made you think, and it wasn't just like, oh, look at this painting from one of the wars, like remember the Spanish Civil War or whatever. Like, yeah, that's really important and lots of lives were lost and we should always remember and like honor them, but it's really cool to see something and like think about, like the dollars. There were these dollars with all these messages written on them, and you know, like that got passed around so many times. Like, the amount of people that read these messages on these dollars was crazy, and they were trying to convey their point. They were trying to get their point across. They were trying to start this movement, and now here they are framed in this museum. Just really makes you think. The next question is honestly one of my favorites. It says, explain the moments you experience wonder. For 2 weeks straight I did. This was a really big thing for me because it was my first time leaving the country, and my main goal in my life is to travel. So now I have 2 countries knocked off my list, and that's really important to me. I can't wait. I want to go to Italy. My dream is Greece. Like, I cannot wait. But just being there and seeing everything, how big it is. Oh my god, the Eiffel Tower is so huge. And just seeing it, just wow, I could just stare at it. I was at the top of the Eiffel Tower, sitting there, and my friend's ready to leave, you know, and I'm just like sitting there, looking out into the distance, staring at the city, the beautiful city, and I can see the river, I can see it all, just not thinking about anything, just letting my mind literally wander to whatever, thinking about things that have been bothering me, whatever it is that I'm thinking about. It's just calming. It's really calming and nice for me. I wrote down some sentences. I said, I wonder how many people stood exactly where I am. So like through the museums, this is kind of lame, but I'm a really big Gossip Girl fan, and Blair Goes to Paris. So while I was there, I was looking up like her favorite restaurants and stuff, and I actually did go to her favorite macaroon spot. So here's the little box from, honestly, I can't even pronounce this. I can't say anything French. La something. Whatever. I'm like, I wonder if she was here. I wonder what her favorite macaroon is. I wonder how much she really liked the city. Blah, blah, blah. Even in Churchill's war rooms, because I did watch The Crown, and I kept thinking about it the whole time we were there. I was like, oh my, William Churchill, like I remember this happening in the show. Just like, I wonder what it was like for him, and I wonder how loud the bombings were, and you know, how he was feeling and what he was doing. And he really lived down there for so long. And I just want to know what that was like for him. Another thing is I just wanted to wander around the cities. I wanted to get lost and just go everywhere. One thing that I really, really liked about Paris was the fact that their trains were most of the time above ground instead of underground. Because in London, like, we would go down, get on the train, you know, 20, 30 minutes later, we're there. You don't see anything except the underground. And I just wanted every chance that I get, how long is the walk? Let's just walk. I don't really care about taking the train. Like, I did it to say I did it. If it's really far, if it's somewhere we've been multiple times, like, let's take the train. But other than that, I would rather personally just walk. See the buildings, see everything. Even if I don't know what it is, even if it's whatever. I just want to see it, because here the buildings are, you know, skyscraper, you know, like the Houston skylines, whatever. You can recognize skylines. But those are like historic buildings that they're now using as apartment buildings. There's a Starbucks in this historic building with this crazy architecture, and like, it's just such a different world over there. And I just wanted to see it all. Another thing was looking at the paintings, like Monet's Water Lilies. I want to know I wonder about the full scenery, and I can picture it in my head, like, what's the vibe? And he's sitting there in this chair with this easel, and he's painting his water lilies, and there they are. And like, for some reason I picture someone over here that's like, oh, can I get you a drink, sir? And, you know, I just wonder what was going on in the moment. I mean, I know it took him a while to paint it, and the painting is huge. It's bigger than I thought. It's bigger than I expected. It's the exact opposite of the Mona Lisa. But just wonder about the true vibe, and was he sad? Was he happy? Obviously the water lilies were important to him, but what was going on in the moment? I looked up the definition of wonder, the literal definition, and it says surprise mingled with admiration, something beautiful, unexplainable, unfamiliar, or inexplicable, which I really felt that mostly at the top of the Eiffel Tower. There were so many people, but just to have that moment of like awe at the city at nighttime, I can't explain it. It also says the desire to be curious or know something. And yeah, I definitely felt that. The desire to just know the city. And I was so curious about the cities and what they had to offer and what life was like there and how it relates to life here and what they do. Oh, phone's dying. But the last one is to feel doubt, which is like, I wonder about this and this. And like, I felt that sometimes, like, I wonder if we're gonna be late. I remember clearly running because I didn't want to miss the boat in Paris. It's like, I wonder if we're gonna be late. I wonder if we're gonna make this train. I wonder if we're gonna, come on guys. And I was running and they're all walking beside me. I'm like, nope, I'm not missing this. I need to see this. That's another time. The last question, which I didn't take any notes on, says, how do you think this trip and your experience will affect your future self and why? I went into this really nervous. I didn't know anybody, but I think that's pretty typical of people in this program. There's a few that knew each other going in, but I knew no one. And it made me more outgoing. It made me more comfortable with myself. It made me more self-aware in a way. Made me more just aware of my surroundings because we're in a new country. And, you know, you gotta be looking because cars are coming from a different way in London. And, you know, they drive crazy in France. And you just have to be more aware of everything going on around you. It made me feel more confident, and it made me just excited, really excited to make the friends that I made, to see them whenever it comes back, whenever fall comes back around, and excited to travel the world more. This was a really, really awesome experience, and we learned a lot. We were really just put out there on our own for the majority of the time, and it just really helped me just to kind of bring me out of my shell and be a little bit more outgoing. So let's get on to my completed scrapbook, which isn't really a scrapbook, but it's it's some stuff. I have my passport, which now has the first stamps in it, which is really exciting. That's probably the most exciting part for me. What sucks is they just flip to a random page, so like trying to find them, but like, oh, like I have these now. It just makes me excited. It's really fun. I can't wait to fill it up. They don't flip to a random page. They went to the first page. They did me right. This, because I brought this candy home to my chocolate, this Milka. What is this? This is chocolate, yeah. My dad loves chocolate, so I brought him that. It was just some cards that we got at the France KFC. They were FFF, the women's football, or the women's soccer team. Like, playing cards? I don't really know. Yeah, they're playing cards with their pictures on them. These are my headphones from the British Airways. This is pretty cool actually. This is the Nando's takeaway menu. The food was actually really good there. I didn't know that they had watermelon slices. For some reason, the fruit over there is so much better. I had some strawberries at the Paris airport and they were to die for. What is this? This is a ticket. Oh, this is my Eiffel Tower ticket. It's pretty important. That was my favorite part. Everybody asked me what was my favorite part of the Eiffel Tower. This is some refreshing wet towel from Air France. That's lame. A British Museum map. I tried to grab every map that I could. Just because. I loved the British Museum. That and the Louvre. Could have got lost in both of those for hours. Here's some notes from our first lecture from the Grange, Wellington. It's pretty cool. Got some phone numbers written on there for my group members. This is a Pompidou gallery map with some notes on it from making my videos. I have my Oyster card. I plan on putting this all in a box just so that I can find it later in a few years. I keep everything though. I've always been a really, like, I don't know. I've always been that kind of person. This is from the Showa Museum. That's really cool. It was really, really interesting there to map. I'll never forget Victoria. Victoria line to Pimlico. And Piccadilly, I didn't know that Piccadilly was a real place. My Westminster Abbey thing, because we put this on way too big. Touring the Westminster Abbey was one of the coolest things too, but what made me sad was that I couldn't take pictures. It's a map of Versailles. Wow, those gardens were huge. Oh my god, they were so big. Some more notes. Okay, cool. Grange, Wellington. This is where I spent 40 pounds? I don't know what I spent 40 pounds on. I spent a lot of money. I know that. My boarding pass for Air France. My luggage tag. More receipts. More receipts. What is this? The singers from the church that we thought was going to be an orchestra or whatever, and it turned out to be a choir. It was an interesting night. St. Martin in the Fields, Evensong. I have all the programs from the Evensongs. This is my Romeo and Juliet ticket. Romeo and Juliet was awesome. What is this? This is the Louvre map. Yeah. Yeah, I had a really hard time reading this, and at one point I gave up and just started taking my notes on it, so. Yeah. The Louvre was confusing, and I went through it by myself, just listening to my music. That's another time I experienced wonder, was through the Louvre. I just walked around listening to music, taking my videos whenever I needed to, but mostly just taking it all in. This is my ticket, my train ticket from St. Pancras to Paris. I slept that whole train ride. This is my Churchill War Rooms ticket. Pretty cool, pretty cool. This Francis Westminster Abbey Evensong. Those things were so long. Oh no. My Amazing Race clues. The Amazing Race was really fun. Really, 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 really good team building exercise. I guess I took a whole notepad from the Grange Hotel. So that's nice. Oh, a photocopy of my passport. There's a copy of my debit card in here somewhere too, then. And my credit card. And my ID. Why do I have 2 train tickets? I stole someone's train ticket, I guess. St. Paul's Evensong. The Merry Wives of Windsor ticket. That was really cool too. Shakespeare's Globe was awesome. Cafe Nero. Free coffee that I never got. Oh, this is from St. Paul's Cathedral whenever they reserved a row for us. So Texas State University row reserved. Stole that. Here's the Tate Modern map. Very modern. This video is 21 minutes. Holder from my other Oyster card, because I had 3 at one point. And lots of receipts. I know that I have my boarding pass from London, from the British Airways somewhere. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I have. I kept it all. This converter, which I had the hardest time with. I'm really happy to be here with my normal plugs. I got this little thing for free. Little keychain. The guy working gave us all one for free. But I bought my own. Bought a bottle opener in London. I bought this one at the British Museum because this little owl reminded me of the OVO owl, and I've started putting keychains on here, so like I have this one from Miami. And then I have this one. It's the Eiffel Tower. I'm trying to keep with the same like silver. I don't know, that's just me. So yeah, that was my experience, and I'm gonna put in some pictures and stuff at the end here. It was really fun. Thank you very much to all of the professors. Thank you so much for everything y'all did for us. It was a really great experience. I hope that we made it really memorable as your first group, and I wish y'all luck with your next groups to come. Oh, wait. 2 more things I forgot are these. It's crazy the difference that they were between France and London. Like London really had the system down, where London was kind of like getting there, but like you had to open the door yourself and like a little ticket, whereas, you know, London had an app and they have the Oyster card. You just scan and go, and the doors open and they're in and out, in and out. I don't know. The trains were really interesting. That was really cool. Anyway, pictures at the end. It's also this shirt I forgot to say, from Paris. Looks like Gucci. Me and 3 other girls got it, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is really my last video. Like and subscribe, comment your fave thing that we did, and I will see y'all next time.
only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm liable to go white.